Everybody, welcome to Dialog Choices podcast again, like on purpose and stuff. When was the last podcast? Was that the one where everyone gets mad at me even though I behaved the way that everyone knew I would based on pattern recognition? It was the fucking showcase 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Let's show Keith a bunch of AAA trailers and then be like, oh my god, he didn't like them. Shock. Let's all get angry again, just like last time.
I must say, I was a little bit surprised by the comments.
I was apparently disrespectful to game developers or something, and I'm like, fuck you. Do you know who's disrespectful to game developers? They're bosses. The AAA industry fucks game developers more than me being like, oh, the thing they made is bad. Especially since the people making it know that the thing they're making is kind of bad half the time because they're being made to do it by the bosses that are overworking them. But sure, act like you're standing up against me on their behalf. I'm the problem.
I still can't believe my prediction of, this is just for shareholders. I still can't believe that prediction held up. I didn't say it like with any foresight or knowledge. Like I didn't think I was saying anything too like wise. But then rewatching that podcast at the beginning, I was like, wait a minute, who's this Colonel guy spitting all the truth right here?
I like that immediately. Because there's always sides, everything gets turned into sides. So when people are mad at me, they immediately like they're really happy with you immediately because they're like, see, he's like sane by comparison. Like, look how much he says nice things occasionally, even though like half the time you were like not in favor of almost anything in that entire presentation. Yes. And even the ones you kind of almost praised, you then talk shit about later. But like, yeah. But there's just there's like a tone difference or something, so they divide a line and you're like the positive cherub enjoying the entire show suddenly, which is like a bizarre mischaracterization of the entire actual podcast.
Yeah, I didn't say anything counter to that narrative that people had built up on the comments because I was enjoying the limelight. Hell, look at that, Colonel RPG being the
people are complimenting me.
Nice. They never do that in my comments.
Damn.
You'll get comments someday.
Someday.
All right, question from Ahmed Bar. I'm a fan of your content and catching up on the podcast. Which comic book games do you like and what do you think makes them good?
Ooh, comic book games.
I don't know if I can think of a single comic book game.
I can think of Spider-Man.
Walking Dead. I liked Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
And given that it's entirely a narrative comic book game, it just means they just had to understand the tone and themes and premise of the thing they were adapting and do a good job at that. Which I don't know if they do it all the way through because I've only played the first 2 seasons. I fell behind and then at some point it's like, well, maybe I'll do them for the channel or something. But like they were good at adapting like the generational nature to Walking Dead because like Walking Dead is specifically interesting because of the long tail of it. It's that dynamic where every zombie story is about the apocalypse happening pretty much, and either everybody dies or the apocalypse is solved usually, or there's some sort of like bittersweet or just straight up like dreadful negative ending of like, but the world's fucked. Roll credits. But Walking Dead is a show that skips the apocalypse and everything's already bad. The protagonist is a cop that gets shot and is in a coma, and he wakes up after the apocalypse has already happened. So they literally just skip the apocalypse in that universe, and then instead he's like dealing with the aftermath. But like the overall like premise of Walking Dead is this like the very long tail of the apocalypse and like literally decades passing and generations and so on, to the point where the epilogue is the next generation and what the long-term future of this world looks like and so on. So I can just see not only from the transition from season 1 to season 2 of the video game, but also just like seeing the like splash art for season 3 and 4 where she's like raising the kid that was the baby in season 2 and so on. It's like and like Clementine's getting older when she was the kid in the first game and all that, like oh yeah this is the right thing. This isn't like a say, The Walking Dead phone game where you're building some kind of base full of like gotcha upon collectible characters from the show or whatever the fuck. Like,
is the gacha an abbreviation of gachapon?
I think.
Because I don't even know what gachapon means.
I don't know. Speak, weeb. What is the answer?
Well,
gachapon. Oh, I thought I thought it was gachapon, but I guess it's gachapon, which is I guess what they call the capsule machines that you pay like a quarter for, which is the same premise basically. So yeah,
yeah,
those are randomized prize
just...
machines.
Yeah. Yep.
I was right and wrong.
What about you, Andrew? What's your favorite comic book game? Hoonie Pop?
It's not a comic.
Dang it.
He just wants to hit you with that whenever he can.
I don't know what you know what, probably 2010 maybe. I'm trying to think of like when was the last time I had fun with a comic book game. Probably that like what is the what is that Hulk game from like 2010 or something?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
There was like some Incredible Hulk video game that came after that really awful Incredible Hulk movie.
The one that was basically the style of Prototype.
I was
like running up skyscraper walls and jumping through the air and shit.
It's
like
one.
it's like I think it's just the Incredible Hulk, like based on Ang Lee's Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. The Incredible Hulk 2008 is the game.
I really liked Prototype back in the day.
I like the idea, like nothing. It felt genuine, like it felt like I was a Hulk. I could just pick up a car, jump in the air, and throw that car halfway through a city. Like, yeah, that sounds like a Hulk thing. Like it had a really good. People always say like the Spider-Man games, like you feel like Spider-Man. Like this game made you feel like the Hulk, and so I was like, yeah, cool. That's what I wanted. I am Spider-Man. But,
you mentioned
no one liked it apparently. I'm looking at the reviews of this game. Everybody's like, yeah, like 3 out of 5. I think
33 out of 100 in Metacritic.
Yeah, 33 out of 100 on Metacritic. Yeah.
Wow.
Not great, but you know what? That's probably because everybody was in 2008. You had so much better games to play, so I imagine why you'd be upset about this, right? Like these.
I like vaguely feel like I remember it being kind of okay, but I don't really remember. I liked Prototype, so I didn't really have a reason to play the Hulk game based on the bad movie.
Prototype
I can tell you the Incredible Prototype,
right? Yeah, it was 2009. According to Wikipedia.
I'm not usually like finger on the pulse. Man, gotta get right on it.
It did come out a year later. So, damn, the Incredible Hulk paving the way for influential video games.
The thing about Prototype, though, is that it felt like I don't know if it's in the name, if it's because of the name, the way I'm
You're about to do the game reviewer thing where you're like, it's more like this game needed a prototype.
No, it felt like a tech demo. Like the best part of the game was just things that it was the moment-to-moment gameplay. It wasn't really like the story or the missions or even like the exploration. It was just fun to move around. Like it felt like a tech demo.
Yeah, isn't that what you want?
Well, yeah, but the problem is that
not for like 10 hours.
Yeah, by the end you're just sort of the game is making you do all these things, and you're sort of exhausted. It's like the taste.
I get it. It's why I didn't like the Spider-Man games for the PlayStation Spider, those fancy new ones. Yeah, I don't like those because it's yeah.
I think that's why I don't care about them, is because I'm like, I already played Prototype. I did it.
Yeah.
I don't need like again.
Exactly.
I didn't even play Prototype 2. I don't want like.
Yeah, they made Prototype 2, and I was like, who cares?
I don't care about like the Spider-Man games. I'm like, I've been here. I did this. I played it like a lot. Like I don't need.
They made Prototype
further
2,
adventures.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Yeah. The point is that like he already did all of the movement tech in prototype. So why bother with any other game that does just the exact same movement?
Yeah,
tech?
it's like the Ubisoft approach of like, hey, we made a pretty fun game where you hop around in like ancient world and you do this and you stab people in the neck with a missing finger and all that. And they're like, what if there was like 20 of these? I'm like, well, no.
But I think
played it
it
already.
works better. It works better
Hey,
for
you're like,
Assassin's
what?
Creed, though.
Does it?
It is more because it's more based on the puzzles of climbing. It's not really that much of a puzzle, but still, the climbing thing is even though like if you're playing all Assassin's Creed back to back, you're gonna explode because it's just so much. But the memories that I remember of Assassin's Creed is like trying to figure out how to get up to the top of a building or out of the area of the city that I'm in, going up this or going up that. So there's more of an involvement of it rather than just the prototype. My memories were like I press this button to go up buildings, and then I press this one to punch things into the air, or this one to grapple this and all that. I don't remember exactly the controls, but the memories that remain with me is just like, oh, this is really fun on the second to second. And Assassin's Creed isn't fun on the second to second. It's fun with the strategy and the sort of like it's different. You know what I mean? To the point where the combat just feels like when you're in combat, it feels like a completely different game because it used to be the whole Batman Arkham Asylum, which incidentally is my favorite comic book game. It's not really a comic book, but you know, that property.
We got to the answer eventually.
Yeah. Although I wish it wasn't, because it also is the kind of game that they took out all the wrong lessons.
Yeah, they made a fucking open world one. I'm like, that's not what was good about the first game at all. What the fuck? Yeah. And then then the franchise kept going in that direction. So I'm like, I didn't even finish Arkham City. And like, true to form, every time I don't like something, everyone's like, wow, that was way better. Make more of that. And I'm like, I don't understand gamers. Why do y'all like open world so fucking much? It's like a fucking blank flat thing where they can just do anything. Like they don't have to like have any real design concepts. They just have a big open map and you just like make your own fun. And then like
sometimes it works though.
How did we all not get bored of GTA 3 like 20 years ago?
Oh, I actually don't think that GTA games are a good example of open worlds.
They at least have systems. There's like you can fuck around in GTA 3 in a way that you can't really in most open world games. Like Ghost of Tsushima isn't like, oh man, I went joyriding and I activated the wanted system and now the whole Tokugawa army's after me. It's not what the plot of that game, but like it's like it's like no, I can just do all I can do is walk around and complete objectives or not complete objectives. That's your freedom in most open world games. You can complete one of the many tasks or stare at the game, I guess.
I've spent many hours enjoying GTA games over the years, and I can't fault the franchise for not giving me fun times. But I think there's a fundamental problem to its open world, which a lot of people can see through and see past, and I have in the past, and probably I would if I were to play a game right now, which is you have the whole being on foot and driving a car. And those are so different gameplay styles that you have to mix in the same map that it feels counterproductive. It feels like the game is fighting itself. And so I think GTA 4 fixed that problem a little bit in comparison to what GTA San Andreas in particular had, which I think GTA San Andreas is the worst of the series in that regard, even though it is my favorite GTA. Which is like the difference of the pacing difference when you're on foot and when you're in a car is so different, and the map is so big that like there's a lot of boring stuff in GTA San Andreas because of that duality of the gameplay. Whereas if you play, for example, Driver San Francisco, which is an amazing open world game, or the last Burnout game that Burnout Paradise, I think it was, in terms of racing games, those open world.
That's the one. Function. I don't know if it was this podcast or some other context, but I was trying to remember what the big... I think it was during the discussion of the racing game last time. I was like, what's the big open world fucking racing thing that's not fuel? Burnout Paradise is like the universally praised one. I'm just
It is
but I'm
good.
just repeating
Yeah.
other people's opinions because I don't care about racing games.
Burnout Paradise is
it,
great.
but I
I love
think San
Burnout Paradise.
Francisco, Driver San Francisco is better. and it's like a similar
Is
game.
that the
but
one where you play as Vin Diesel and your brain can jump? Your spirit can possess
Yes.
other cars.
Yes, it is so fun. It's a fun game even without that. But then you can just make up
But then that
scenarios by
happens and
driving.
it's absurd.
It's such a like there's a famous YouTube video explaining that game because apparently you can't buy it anymore. So you need to get it without paying for it. It's my suggestion. But it's a weird
What
game
could
that
that
basically got
mean? Would you like to tell us all about your
piracy.
funny?
It's piracy. I'm talking about piracy. Basically they removed that game from all stores, which is bonkers. But well, I guess
Why?
I suppose if you're playing it on
the
console,
license die?
it's probably it probably has to do with like the songs that the radio has and stuff like that.
For Burnout Paradise?
No, for Driver San Francisco.
Driver San Francisco.
God, keep up.
Oh
man.
yeah, it could just be like the lack of distribution. Like so, if somebody could buy, it's like you can't buy Gex anymore.
Yeah, that sucks.
So at some point,
More like
at some point, it's just
Gecko.
like, yeah, right? Yeah, but who knows?
And apparently it's like because it's not maintained, it doesn't play well in newer computers and stuff like that. So that's a problem. But I remember having a lot of fun with the open world because you never like are on foot and like everything is designed to be driven around and you controlling all the cars and all that. And it's just like because the game is focused on that, it allows for an open world that is a little bit better, or that in that case is really fun. But that is like immediately better than any GTA world can be because like there's no shooting or anything, so you just don't need to design for that. And it's just but GTA can be fun. It's just and it is fun, but I think people that could it be that people just misattribute the reason why they have fun? That's an age-old story, isn't it?
That's
People think
elitist. How could you say that?
How is that elitist?
Obviously,
like
you
the
need
renegade.
to reaffirm
That's
or
a-
reassess your.
I've heard that more
your
than once.
Wow.
place in society.
The elitism.
Yeah, what I'm
of,
saying. What I'm
of
saying
making
is
these kinds
people.
of claims.
What I'm saying is people don't know why they have fun. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It sounds a
and
little.
you
it's
know
conceited.
better why they have fun, so they should
It's
listen
conceited.
to you.
It's not elitist. It's conceited. Learn your words. That's being elitist. What I just did. So there you go.
Yeah, check your privilege. I'm above you. I can tell you how you're having fun or not.
Well, the thing is, it's not. The thing is, you're not. It's not. I think it is conceited to say it. I'm not denying that, but it's also testable because you're not really telling people that they're having fun because of this while they're having fun. You're contesting their statements based on their personal experience. So after the fact, people who are like GTA sells like hot like cupcakes, which is the one that it sells like. It's GTA. It sells like GTA. And so a lot of people love the game, and I assume there's at least there's a more or less large amount of people who pressure other games or other franchises to assume GTA like qualities because they like GTA. But I think the fun of GTA is really the systems are fun, and it doesn't have to be the same systems for you to have fun. But I've always it's the messing around and crashing cars, and it's like jumping around and being silly and goofy. That's what's fun, I feel, for me.
I think people just forget that there used to be higher quality things made in the past. Like I
For
look at
GTA?
GTA 4 and well no, I'm
Yeah.
saying like you could look at like GTA 3 and go or sorry, not GTA 3. Yeah.
You
You
mean
can look at
Vice City?
GTA 3.
Mhm.
No, you look at GTA 3 and you go like, "Man, look at the kind of like complete control you're allowed to have over the world that you're in. You can do so much fun stuff with that game. You can literally, if you know how a mission goes, you can beat that mission just by knowing how that mission goes. You can like put like you could put bombs on cars that you know people get into because those
Oh.
cars aren't spawned in by the world. They're just always there. The game, like, to be, to be more efficient, the game just has a car always sitting there. And
Mhm.
if it, obviously, if it's not there, like if it blows up or something, the game just goes, well, the car blew up. Likewise, you could literally just run up to that car and put some mines on it and then go and do the mission. And when the guy's like, I'm running in my car, as soon as he gets in, you just blow up the car and boom, that's it, mission complete. You can't do stuff like that in GTA 4. You can't do stuff like that in GTA 5. You can't do
Mhm.
stuff like that in most open world games because because there's like the process is you want this smooth, perfectly clean, sanitized experience. You want everyone to make sure that they have the exact level of fun that you want them to have, like Assassin's Creed or like I don't know, Call of Duty, I guess, like the campaign. You don't want any kind of thing that has you don't want to make a game that has unpredictability because if someone doesn't have a good time, then that's going to impact you, right? That impacts your game's score, I guess. People are like, "Oh man, I didn't get to do a fun thing." But if everyone's allowed to have the fun thing, they just have to get to that point, then it's better. Everyone gets a much better experience. Um, but it
Mhm.
just I don't know. I think it's boring. I think it's really boring and sanitized that like in Red Dead Redemption, you can't just break into a building, right? You can't just like, oh, I know there's shady business in here. Why can't I just like break in? I just take the guard out and go through the door. It's like, no, no, no. You need to go into the building, talk to the guy. The guy will then give you an invite. Then you can go back to that building and then go in the door. It's like, what the fuck's the point? I'm a cowboy. Now I feel like I'm a
A
civil
steel horse
worker.
I
Uh,
ride.
yeah, like you have to go and follow the correct paperwork, make sure and fill out your W-2s and then submit them to your boss and then you're allowed to go do the job. Like I don't want that's not open world. That's not open world to me. Open world is complete freedom in a world. Um
Yeah, I
not
agree with
just
you.
not yeah, like open world now is just it's a big map and you're like, "Oh, okay. Is there anything else in your is there things to do in your big map?" It's like, "Yes, here's a very rigorous itinerary." And you're like, "That all right, so it's like you basically
We've
gave me
broken it down into a
Disneyland.
series of
Awesome.
tasks that you have to do in the correct order. Yeah, it's like trying to
It's
catch
called
you're trying to catch up with your like fast pass.
what
Yeah, basically.
what Andrew is talking about is something called emergent storytelling, and it's a
Yep.
beautiful thing in video
It's
games.
it's it's
And
the it's to some extent like these kind the sandbox idea of GTA is kind of just for people who haven't discovered immersive sims yet.
the thing is, GTA did start like that. GTA 1 and
Yeah.
2, they don't have like stuck campaigns. You just sort of you can help one person. Like they have campaigns, but it's like from factions. So basically, to beat the game, you have to beat the game in one or the other faction, and you can mix and match and stuff like that. So at least my memory of GTA 1, particularly, but GTA 2 as well. It's just like every time I beat the game, it was always something completely different. The world was totally different. There was all these different people that got killed in the process or got whatever thing blown up. It usually relied on blowing things up. Um, and
As it
it
should.
started like that, and then it wasn't anymore. It like I think for me, the moment I stopped really feeling any great things about GTA was that one moment in the main campaign of GTA 4 where I think you're trying to save your cousin or something to that extent, and if you fail the mission, you'll like receive a cell phone call and be like, "Oh no, this happens." It's like that's a specific moment, and the game gives you a game over screen, and you have to reload. And I'm like, "No, tell us the story that happens after that." T-
Yeah.
t-
It's like
I
no, he
lost,
can't
but what?
he's not allowed to die.
No,
Period.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And GTA 4 has a couple of. I really like the expansions. I remember the Ballad of the Gay Tony was my favorite, I think. But the other one with the bikers was
That's
pretty
the
cool as
one
well.
that had a penis in it.
Oh, Bean has never seen the one before that game.
That's all I remember
Uh,
about that entire expansion.
yeah, I remember. I really like the characters, but probably going back and playing it's probably going to be Yikes Town.
I
But
can't
then again,
I can't tell you the story of any of the yeah, not really
it
any of the
was sort of
GTA
a
expansions. I just
it was sort
vaguely
of a
remember that
prototype.
the previous one had like the motorcycle gang
Mhm.
and like, oh, it's within the family, but then like, oh, what if you guys fought now? And
Yep.
then it's not so in the family or something. And then
I
I think he
remember the
dies
one.
in the next game.
Yeah. The thing with the next game is I played a little, and the whole thing about changing main characters turned me off completely, so I never actually beat the first game. It's just like, no, I don't care about these characters that don't get to know. Like, why, what is this? Why are you switching characters? Like, GTA 4 works well enough, even though it's a boring premise of this person who comes to America and has a cousin that's annoying, but it's still the characters that you're dealing with and moving around and learning. That's how you build like a relationship with your main character, not like sending you all over
getting
town
bored
for
and leaving.
because the GTA 5 I think starts with that asshole from the desert place and then immediately switches to
I think you
the dude
start
that
with
lives with his
Franklin.
grandmother. Yeah, Frank. No, do you start with Franklin? Franklin
I think you start with Franklin,
Yes.
and then you meet the old. Oh wait, no. Technically, you start with the people doing the bank heist in the intro.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
but when you get to
Yeah.
modern day, you play as Franklin for a while, and then you run into the less insane of the two bank heist people, and then get wrapped up in their story, and you get like a third of the way, or are like really far into the narrative before something Trevor's introduced, and you're like, oh, time to deal with this guy, the character actor from various shows you've seen.
Trevor's
Trevor's the
Yeah,
guy
right.
that kills the Lost and
Yeah.
Dan guy.
That's where I stopped.
Did you just
I
call
think
Trevor
I
a
played
redhead?
A redneck.
redhead.
Oh.
A
So
redneck.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I got like
we have different memories.
I
I
mean,
really
maybe his
didn't-
head's red from all the sun beating down on his bald skin, but yeah, it's a
bald skin.
bald skin. Yeah.
Mm.
The
Yeah,
know.
that really didn't grab me, and I really didn't like the dude with the yoga thing. I was just like, oh freaking hell, I forget his name, but you know, the Tony Soprano kind of character.
Yeah.
It's just Yeah.
He's being emasculated by his wife cucking him narrative.
he liked it.
That's the
Yeah,
That's probably
I
set the
did-
camera.
I don't even remember what the stories were about. It just felt like, because that's the thing, to make a good GTA game, and actually any open world game where you spend a lot of time just faffing about and not like engaging directly with the storyline.
He's hacking
make a
and
good
whacking
one-
and faffing.
To make a good one, all you have to do is just freaking have a single main character, and then you don't really focus on the main character because it's about all the characters that you meet. You can have all the stories that you have anyway. Just like, but moving around the main characters means that you're going to be focusing on your own character and just getting to know them, and it's like, I don't like it at all. That's like, imagine Assassin's Creed 1 was, spoilers for Assassin's Creed 1, by the way. Imagine Assassin's Creed 1 was actually 50% in I don't remember the name of the town. In Egypt? No, it wasn't Egypt. It was Middle East, right?
It was somewhere
Was
in
it
there,
Turkey?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine it was
Yeah, it was,
50% there, and another 50% with the modern day person just moving around and doing things. Like,
That was
normal
like half my
storytelling, but
life ago.
Yeah, Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed
it's
1
been a
was
while.
in what was that?
But it was 90% in the Animus, in the Middle East town. So you just learn the story of Altair, not the story of the modern day Altair reincarnation person. So, like, it was fun. And the game at the end was like, oh, there's more to come, and I'm like, I know there's more to come. It's a Ubisoft property. Of course, there's going to be a Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, it looks like it takes place in two places. Masyaf, which is I don't actually know where that is. Where is Masyaf? Masyaf is apparently Syria. So it's in western Syria, and then you go to Jerusalem.
Yeah, but that's for the ending only. Jerusalem is like
Yeah.
only the ending.
But I meant, like, so you spend most of your time in Syria, and then you just head off to Jerusalem afterwards. So those are the
Mhm.
two locations in Assassin's Creed 1.
And interestingly enough, my last memories of Assassin's Creed was that one game where you do play a lot more in the modern day. At the end of the game, basically, there's a big scene.
Isn't that 3?
Are you sure? It might have been. I thought it was 4, actually.
Oh, maybe it's 4. I I couldn't tell you. I am definitely not the lore keeper of Assassin's Creed games.
Oh, that hopefully
Like,
nobody is, because the lore is just contrived for the sake of contrivance.
as far as I'm aware, the game is basically like just a pachinko machine with an apple, and somebody's at the bottom and grabs it, and then somebody else goes, "I want that now," and then it's your turn, your job to get it. So
They're
next
still
time, someone
after
else can do the
the
same
apple.
thing.
Holy crap!
I'm pretty sure it's all it all is about it. Like the whole thing is just
That
about
was.
the stupid fucking. I don't know, man. I don't know
It's just like
because
it's
you're
such a boring.
always aliens, man.
Uh,
You know, aliens
yeah,
doing floss dances in there's outer ship space is a really compelling story. It's why there's like 15 Assassin's Creed games.
and it's the sort of well, I suppose it always started with a. It always started with a very sort of old tropey world building, so it was never going to be like anything too serious. But like the
Oh my god, I was joking. There's like 14 Assassin's Creed games. Jesus Christ. What the
yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
everybody?
You
yeah.
Stop it. What is wrong with you
How did you
people?
not know?
think I was
I was just
exaggerating at the
joking.
beginning?
Yeah, I thought like I thought you were just
No,
making a
they won't
joke. Like,
stop.
holy shit.
No, it's yeah.
Oh
It's just
my god.
Assassin's Creed for days.
Assassin's
Absolutely.
Creed and Call of Duty are both funny because like you just completely stop paying attention to them at some point, and then but they don't stop. So you just look back one day and you're like, "What the fuck, guys?"
Call of Duty for me is Call of Duty 2 and Modern Warfare 2, and that's it. I'm good. Don't need more Call of Duty ever.
Which one though?
Which one? The
Dude.
first ones.
It's so it hurts
And
me a
that's
little
just
bit.
that's
The
just their
idea that
mainline
there's
games.
multiple fucking Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2s. It's like the whole point of adding the subtitle was to specify which one you meant, and now that's not specific anymore because you're like, what if there was multiple of the same subtitle with the same number?
Yeah.
Like, what if you fucking stopped?
That is
thing about-
impressive. I'm confused about the what's the compelling draw to Assassin's Creed games? What is it that makes you go, "Oh yeah, finally." What like some quality entertainment after like the 12th game. So
They're
you
easy
like
to play
finish
and pretty. They allow for grindy gameplay, and they're open world enough that you can just spend as much time as you want or not, and still have a good amount of fun. And
What's
they're
funny to me is that the story that launched this entire series was awful. Like, they spent
Yes,
like
I was
5 or
yeah.
6 games trying to tell the first opening story and completely fucked it up, like Rise of Skywalker
Yeah.
style. And then they just kept going.
Yes. That's what I was gonna say. Like the first game was tropey in its approach to sort of religious fiction, as it were, because religion grounds for fiction is a lot of fun for the uninitiated, but it a lot like the moment you start to be, when I say uninitiated, is if it's the first time you're seeing like, oh, did you know Jesus was married? There's this book over here that was written in this century that said Jesus was married, and people like gripped for years on a book. But the moment you get past that, yeah, exactly. The moment you get past that initial hype, like it loses its meaning because like people just like they stop. It's not about, oh yeah, well, it's another book saying things instead of what it is, the canonical of this one religion. This book or this new fiction over here says, oh, what if it was aliens instead? So, but the thing about religious, well, I suppose there's a term, but for historians, the thing about the study of religion is really about like it's things like the what's the name of that the Gospel of Judah. I think it was found in the 70s and was released like 10 years ago, and it was like just it's agnostic. It's not agnostic, but gnostic. It's a gnostic type of
like
Christianity, early
like a
Christianity.
brunch.
I don't know what is a brunch. What?
You're
No, I
gonna
know what a
nosh?
brunch is. No. It's just a type of. It's basically papers, or not paper. It was a gospel. It was basically holy books from specific sects of Christianity, early Christianity. And if you look at that, like Assassin's Creed looks at it, and it's just like, oh, there's proof that it was actually aliens or something. But the fun part of it is less trying to come up with what it actually was, but rather reassessing the beliefs that people hold, rather than necessarily, it doesn't have to be your beliefs, but it could be your beliefs as well if you're Christian. But if this is fiction, like you shouldn't play necessarily around with the trust that people are going to be Christian and playing Assassin's Creed. It's just like, but you can have endless sort of like this sort of reassessment and be like, oh, did you know that these people, like imagine the reveal of Assassin's Creed 1. Oh, a spoiler for Assassin's Creed 1. The reveal of Assassin's Creed 1 is that the Pope holds like this world creating sort of artifact, and like it's super powerful and whatnot. But that's like a boring thing, because it's just like, oh, this super important person in the church has a powerful artifact and it's magical. Like, it doesn't actually. I don't. I might be missing details.
That's hyper original storytelling. I don't know what you're talking about.
I might be missing the details, but this is the gist of it. But if it were something like, he holds like something that actually tells the story of the sort of the origins of the Catholic Church in a different light, for example, and it's like, oh, he's this. It could be the same MacGuffin. It doesn't. It's not really about the power or what it is that he holds, this apple of whatever. But the MacGuffin, instead of being like, oh no, he's actually really powerful, it would be like, oh, he's the story that he tells of his own church is different from what it actually happened. That sort of story is more fun because it allows you to then go back and tell those stories and tell what it actually, sort of recontextualize in more and more ways. And it allows for building a setting. And Assassin's Creed does do that every once in a while, but it just keeps falling back. The endings of Assassin's Creed, they keep falling back on the same tropes of being like, oh no, it's actually super powerful. The assassins were actually this, or the Templars were actually that, or whatever. I haven't played since Assassin's Creed 4, so I don't, and it's been a while.
It's probably
it's just like trope after trope. It's just
I find it hilarious that over the entire course so far up to today, or last year, as of October 2020, the entire franchise itself has sold over 155 million copies. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 23% of that alone. Like, what the fuck?
Is the Deluxe the one for the Switch?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a lot.
That's a lot. I can't believe that. Like,
Nintendo
I don't know
powerful.
how math works. I'm not very good at profit math, but I feel like either Assassin's Creed games must be incredibly cheap to produce, or holy shit, you guys could make so much more money if you just tried on like putting a little bit of effort into something. That's crazy. How the hell does 12 games in total sell 155 million copies? That's not good. That is not a good look.
Well, for a AAA company,
I would not put that on my resume, is what I'm saying. Like, I would not be putting that as CEO. I would not be like, we sold 155 copies of a product after 12 iterations. Like,
they have
but
they're actually pretty expensive. They must be pretty expensive because they have two different studios working on the main.
Well, I think what subsidizes a lot of this is that I'm only talking about the main franchise, but they have a metric fuck ton of spin-off stuff too.
Yeah.
So they have books and apps and fucking I don't know what else they got. What else do they have? Comics and compilation videos and audio dramas and magazines and board games and blah blah.
These
blah.
are
There's
a few of my favorite things.
Yeah,
it's funny because you say subsidized, and like the two studios that make Assassin's Creed are Ubisoft Montreal and Ubisoft Quebec, and both of those areas actually pay the salary, like the governments pay like subsidize the salary of game developers. So that's why there's so many game developers in Montreal and Toronto and stuff like that.
I hope that
I think I learned recently from the Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
I was gonna say this sounds like the H Bomber guy video.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. And hopefully we all learn a lesson, and Canada stops paying people to make video games in their country, and we can all move on from having less AAA studios being able to affordably make this constantly. That would be nice. We could just go back to more like I would much rather have more cyberpunk games.
They wouldn't go for cyberpunk. They are just they were gonna do what Blizzard is doing with Diablo Immortal and with the Warhammer.
That's
3.
also good. No, that's also good. I want every AAA studio to either go the Blizzard route of just money, 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 or cyberpunk.
What's happening with Diablo Immortal?
Wow,
I just vaguely hear people complaining, but I don't care about Diablo.
Diablo Immortal is an impressive art of capitalistic fucking nightmare fuel. It is basically nothing but if you want to have fun, open your wallet, chump. Here's a gun in your mouth. It's like you every mechanic, every system involved in the game is monetized in some way. So you want gear, you're going to have to pay money to get a totem that gives you a higher percentage of higher quality loot drops, because otherwise you're going to get no good loot drops. And if you don't have good enough loot, then you're going to have a really hard time playing the game. So you need to get that higher loot drop. But in order to do that, you need to go back and play the parts of the game that you can play to get that loot to drop. It's fucking bad. Like,
it's pay to win gacha sort of ultra monetized kind of grind game.
But it's Diablo.
It's the game.
So it's a loot based, right? So it's all about getting better loot, but it's a gacha game. So it's about using gacha mechanics to get better loot, which is like, what the fuck are you doing? You paid $5 for a pair of shoes that you have to replace with fucking $15 pair of shoes and then a $50 pair of shoes. What, seriously, at what point?
And it's so aggressive.
Just buy shoes. Go outside, buy some shoes, and go on a fucking hike. You would have a much better time, and you would get your money back in return in quality of life compared to fucking goddamn Diablo. Like, it's
and the thing is, it is just Diablo.
I want to say that I want to be able to sit here and say, but thankfully it was a massive failure and nobody played it. But it
was not.
Basic pattern recognition about gamers tells me that they're probably playing the fuck out of it, even though it's the worst thing ever made, because them rewarding this exact monetization strategy up till now is why this game is like that. Because they keep playing games like that and giving them more money instead of being like, ew, and then play literally anything else.
Video games,
there's like infinite choices and they choose those ones.
Yeah, video games to me feel like reality TV, where we all agree, like, there is just, it's a universal, I'm not even making this up, we all universally agree that reality TV is bad. There is no, like, there's no person that sits there and holds their hand up like, actually, it's really good, it's well quality made entertainment. Like, those aren't real people. Those are like synthetic life forms that have been implanted into our communities to try to trick us into thinking that those shows are good. Those are fucking liars. And like, all reality TV is fucking garbage, but people often watch it to either turn their brains off and not do anything beyond just what is like basically necessary to survive. And two, they do it because other people in their lives are fucking awful and they have to try and interact with them to maintain some social life. So they want to do the things that those people are doing, which is often why gacha games like survive. Is because you'll have these people who are like, let's play together, let's make a clan, or let's do the fun things. And like, mobile games are always about playing things with other people. And that's how they monetize you, because they know that if you want to play with your friends and do the fucking cool game, you better pay up, bud. And it's, I don't know, man.
Every mechanic is monetized, and including the one with playing with the paying customers. There's runes that allow you, the runes that you can pay for, obviously, that allow you to give bonuses to your companions in your party and get more experience in your party.
Yep.
So having paying players in your party is beneficial for you as well.
Also, like, nothing is explained in that game. Like, nothing is explained on
because
how
it does fundamental. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, for the runes, for example, when you do the runes, like that's only for a, I believe that's only for a set percentage, and it doesn't tell you the percentage like until after you
Yes.
pay. And if you want a higher percentage, you have to pay more money.
More. Yeah.
And like
After you pay
but
first
it doesn't,
time.
again, it doesn't tell you how much percentage you gain from paying more money. You have to pay more money first. And it doesn't tell you how many runes you have to buy to do it because you don't know until you upgrade the first one. So it's like
And
it is this awful mechanic that just eats your money. It just exists to vacuum money
it's
out of your life. Like,
it exploits the sunk cost fallacy to the extreme. Things like, for example, this is fairly common in pay to win games and free to play games, where you finish a dungeon or you finish a, whatever in Diablo Immortal is a dungeon, but you finish or whatever rifts or whatever they're called. You finish a dungeon and you can pay like $150 to get like double the rewards instead of just the rewards that you got or whatever. And you're like, oh, I pay $150 to get double the reward of this dungeon. Cool. The next time you actually pay two, and like the price keeps going up. It's not always the same because they know, of course, if you're the chump that pays 150 the first time, you're gonna be the chump that pays two or whatever 190 or whatever. They increase it to like all optimized levels of exploitation. And the latest numbers I saw were things like you can absolutely unlock everything if you play by yourself, and
yeah.
the top echelon of items are basically impossible to unlock by yourself, but they're like technically possible if you play for 10 years straight without ever stopping for sleeping. I think these are the numbers that people have arrived at
Like
recently.
legally
But
you have
but
to
that's
allow
not
people to access
yeah,
everything, but you
but that's
also
not even
legally
but that
don't
doesn't
have to
matter.
let them access it quickly.
Yeah, but that doesn't convince anybody of anything. The
Yeah.
reality is if you play for 3 months, you get the same reward if you pay 20 euros. Like you need to know how to pay them, but you can pay 20 euros to skip 3 months of grind. So that's the reality of that game. And obviously that's just the start of the game. When you pay 20 euros in Diablo Immortal, that's the start. Because like what are you gonna do with the rewards that you get out of that? The experience or the loot or whatever. You're gonna play more. You're gonna have more reason to spend more money. And that's what Blizzard is doing with that. And it's just like the utmost polished version of microtransactions. It's like
And I just think back to when they were like, Diablo Immortal is gonna be on mobile, and people are like, boo. And they're like, what, you don't have phones? Like, no, because people knew this was gonna happen. Like people
yes, that
knew that if
was
you're gonna put
the
a game on the phone, it's gonna be a microtransaction
yes.
hellscape. Like
Yeah.
no one was stupid. No one was like, oh man, my iPhone, I'm gonna have to buy a new one to run this game. Like, guys. And
And a lot
I don't know.
a part of the kickback
I
against
just
sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just I think back and I look at like I'm looking at Overwatch 2, and it's like, oh, it's gonna have a battle pass and it's gonna be free to play. And then you go like a little bit deeper and you go like, oh, but you can technically, you right now you can pay them $40 to buy Overwatch 2, and it comes with some skins and a battle pass and a beta access and the Overwatch game. Like
That you already have?
that would no, it includes the so that includes Overwatch Legendary Edition, which is
Oh.
like just more skins and more loot boxes and whatever. But Legendary Edition is just a version of the game. So like you could just
Mhm.
pay $40 to get to buy Overwatch 1 again. Or you could pay $40 to get a couple of skins and a battle pass in Overwatch 2, which is like, how the fuck is $40 a battle pass? That seems kind of expensive. You cannot tell me that two legendary skins are worth $40. That's not true. That is completely fabricated.
Do
You
not
can't
$40.
tell
accept.
me $40 is not how much it costs to beta test a game. That is not true. Do not accept. And it definitely is not $40 to buy the legendary edition of Overwatch, which you can again right now buy for $20, which is still a little much. But if you wait, it usually goes on sale for $10, and you can buy that, get all the same stuff, and then get Overwatch 2 for free because it's a fucking free to play game. So for $10, you could just get like 50% of the shit that they're offering you. Another $20 is what it costs. So they're saying $20 is the cost of a battle pass, 2 skins, and yeah, that's it. Like that's if we're ignoring the fact that like they included a $20 game inside of this $40 package, knowing full well that the majority of people buying it are people who fucking already have Overwatch 1. So why would they need to buy the legendary edition again?
So they can smurf.
Yeah, it is really obvious that this is just this is not a good sign, right? This is not a very good sign between Overwatch 2 and Diablo Immortal. You can tell that there's been a really big shift to free to play. Like there's
That's where the money is.
Who could have ever
it's like a
predicted
parasitic life
this
form.
kind of influence when they merged with Activision?
I think
It's-
it started with World of Warcraft, though.
Yeah,
World
no,
of
World of
Warcraft
Warcraft has an
always
item
baffled.
shop. Fucking, I'm pretty sure the Diablo. I think the Diablo 3 item shop predates Blizzard Activision.
No, no,
No.
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 But Diablo 3 was
Diablo,
under development before, but just not the item shop.
yeah. Diablo
What I'm
3
saying is
came out
World of
after
Warcraft.
merging.
What I'm saying is World of Warcraft as it was released on 2004 with a $15 monthly payment that you had to do. That was already exploiting the sunk cost fallacy back then. It always baffled me as somebody who didn't play World of Warcraft, and also who saw the $15 a month as outrageously expensive. But it always baffled me that World of Warcraft made Blizzard just not make games for so long. That was like, maybe it wasn't as direct a relationship as it seemed to me at the time, but it definitely made, like, objectively speaking, it recontextualized all of the investments that they ever proposed to their shareholders. Because World of Warcraft just made them so much money, and it's the same thing with Rockstar. I bet. In the context of GTA 5.
They were just gone for an eternity because of GTA 5.
Yeah, and Blizzard was as well with World of Warcraft. The next game they made was StarCraft 2, right? That came out like 2012. 8 years of not making a game. I mean, they made the expansions for World of Warcraft, but
that's the thing. They focused on making expansions for a game that they were at the time making an incredible fuck ton of money off of. Like World of Warcraft was not slouching in the profit department. It was
the most
doing
profitable
good.
game.
Yeah. And so why
it's
wouldn't
still
you just
doing good
keep
right now?
milking that? They have a new expansion coming out soon. We have what's it called? We have Dragonflight coming. So and like who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and maybe Dragonflight will have its own gacha system inside of it. Wouldn't that be swell? I mean, it already has a $90 Epic edition, which is totally cool. Half of the content for it isn't even for WoW. That's even better.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That whole bizarre system where when you buy a collector's edition for a Blizzard game, it's mostly stuff for their other games that's like tie-in costumes or pets.
Yeah,
you get a lot of it.
Yeah, you essentially pay money to be advertised the idea of also playing all of their other games, which then will loop you back into buying their collector's editions and so on.
Yeah, that makes total sense from an exploitative perspective.
It's great
really
from a nightmare perspective.
Yeah. The people who are paying more than they need to, they love you, so let's make let's take advantage of that love.
Look, I will save you the problem. I'll save you the trouble here. Buy the heroic edition of anything. All you really care about is the mount. You don't care about the pets. You don't care about the transmog shit. None of that matters. Just get the damn mount. That's it. Just that. That's it. What is it? How much more is it? It is a regular cost of a game. That's it. It costs the same price as a game costs. That seems reasonable. Nope. That's if you need some kind of some kind of, you want to be cool and have a bonus or whatever, just pay the cost of a regular game and be done with it. You don't need no Epic Edition. You don't need shit for Hearthstone. You don't even play Hearthstone. Why are you buying shit for a game you don't play? Stop doing that. Like, do you play Heroes of the Storm? Do you play Hearthstone? No, you fucking don't. Stop doing that. Don't buy the Epic Edition. You don't fucking need it. Just buy the Heroic Edition. It's only WoW related content, and then move on with your life. I don't care if your stupid best friend has a shitty card back in Hearthstone that makes it so other people that play against him feel like he's an idiot when they beat his ass on their fucking cards that they spend money on versus buying an Epic Edition for a card back. Like, why? Why? Just I don't know. I don't get it. I will never understand the appeal here. Like I like, like I like mounts. I like mounts in WoW. I've definitely bought mounts in WoW. It's very stupid, but I just like it. It's fun having a little mouse that flies around. It's cute. It's fun. It's adorable. I just enjoy it.
I was gonna say this is a
But
very high horse you're getting on, considering I've seen you get like
yeah,
the I've seen you on the various mounts that reward you for pre-purchasing a bunch of game time that you might not actually use.
yes,
Which is also
but
a different way of getting to you. They
oh
attach.
yeah, it definitely is.
They try to get you to pre-purchase like a year or 6 months of game time that you might then like not you might like lose interest with the game before then, but they already have your money, and then they reward
Yeah.
you with like a FOMO amount that you won't be able to get otherwise.
Yeah, and
Which tells you
and
how
most of the time
profitable that particular gambit is, that they're making
Yeah.
assets just for it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so it made sense in the sense that me and Keith were doing the series, right, for WoW. And so I'm paying month to month anyways, and I know the series isn't going to end in a month. Like it probably is not going to even end in 3 months because WoW is a very long game. And so like sure, I'll do the whatever 6-month thing. That seemed valuable. But like yeah, no, it's scummy. I'm not like going out and saying like do it. It's a good idea. I just did the cost and said like, yeah, this is how long it's going to take. I do that for Final Fantasy. I pay Final Fantasy in like 3-month increments because I know we're going to play it for more than 3 months because god damn that game is so long. But once we get to the final expansion, I'm going to drop that down to a month because I don't know how long it's going to take us. And we may be done soon, and the beast will be released, and we'll be free from the purgatory, and we can just go on with our lives again.
And then we can
And
start playing
so
Secret World.
if we must,
Just
and
bounce to the next MMO forever.
I mean, by the time we beat Final Fantasy, I bet Dragonflight will be out anyways. If we're just being honest here,
That's just the question of how badly do we want to try to cover the campaign.
But well, look, we can get to level 70 now. So, that's
for the
good.
first
I'm glad
time
our
in the
level-
history of WoW, you can hit level 70. Hang on a minute.
Rise
This
to
seems a
new
lot
heights of
like
power.
this seems a lot like Modern Warfare 2 all over again.
But they have a new race, so that's cool. They are dragon people. So, hey, hitting a market, I'm sure. And they do turn into dragons. Don't worry. If you had hesitations that they were going to just look like regular humans, they do. But
Oh,
they
they
just
look
do
like
the
regular
werewolf thing.
humans.
Yeah, so they look like regular humans, but they're basically were-dragons.
I
So they
literally-
look like regular
The
humans.
only thing I've seen about the next
Um,
expansion is just like one screenshot of the skinny dragon people, and that's it. So I thought they were just dragons.
Oh, no. They have like humanoid forms and then they can turn into dragons. They're more like the Draenei, where they kind of look like they have the horns and they obviously have like facial structures that aren't like quite human, but they normally look like humans, and they do the werewolf thing where they can transform into dragon people. Which, that makes sense. You want to make it look easy when they're wearing their armor, right? You want like, oh, I gotta buy this fashionable stuff, but it's not gonna fit on the dragon body. So you gotta have the human form for your fashion, and then you have the cool form that you stay in when you're not fighting. But yeah, so there you go.
How
You have
is-
dragon people.
How is a person less cool than a dragon?
Well, it's more the fact that it's a pain in the fucking ass to try to fit assets onto a non-humanoid body. So it's
fair.
just a wee bit easier to make you look different in that form.
Mhm.
Apparently, I don't know. So that's it. That as long as I can, as far as I can tell, that's the only benefits. You can be a dragon person and you can reach level 70. It says nothing else about the game. So I don't know. I don't know what's there. I don't know what else you can do. Maybe you can fly a dragon. Keith flies dragons all the time. So I don't know. I don't know what dragon flight is. I can already do that. We can all already fly dragons. Go to the WoW store and buy a dragon mount. It's like $20. Um, there you go. Full expansion. I don't know. It's the main point though is it's funny to see the like with most things, it's funny to see things funneling into a worse and worse marketplace, right? Things are just not as great. Um,
Mhm.
for bigger, higher the production, the better the quality of the product. Quality in big quotation marks, because obviously AAA doesn't mean quality, but the higher the budget, the higher the quality or whatever, the more bad like the system is that it's a part of. So like yeah, like a Blizzard game isn't a great game outside of like the playing part. When you're playing the game, you're like, yeah, this is kind of fun. Like boom, boom, I shoot people. This is really fun for Overwatch. But then you like once you're out of the game, you're surrounded by really unfun and unpleasant mechanics. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, I don't like these systems anymore. Like a lot of people are just pointing guns at your head and asking for money. And you're like, I want to go back into the game. Can I go back into the match now? I don't want to be here. And like
Yes,
I don't
you
like these
can, but you
systems
need to pay
anymore, Daddy.
priority
Can I
pass.
go home?
yeah, basically, like, yeah, as soon as you go to the menu, you're like, why is there a half naked Reaper on the screen? And why won't he go away? I don't want to do this anymore. Can I press play game now? And it's like, oh, you
Pay
didn't want to buy the
priority
Reaper
pass.
skin? You're like, I don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy the Reaper skin. Could it go away? Like, it's just
Priority
that
pass.
that's the thing is like I'm excited for, I'm excited for seeing this evolution of gaming get worse and worse and to the point where like triple A it like switches with indie. Where indie is like, you can't trust the quality. You don't know what it's gonna be like. It's probably gonna be poopy. You're gonna spend $15 on shit. And then someone's gonna be like, oh man, you're gonna spend $70. I don't know, man. That's a waste of money. It's just gonna be shit. Like it's just you know what you're signing up for. You're paying money to have access to a less quality product. You're paying a lot more money for a less quality product, which then also asks you for more money because it turns out that your gambling stepfather has a problem that he doesn't want to address, and it's just like it. It's really weird. It's really weird that all of these AAA games keep asking me for more money after I buy a game. Like what? Even if I didn't buy the game, it's like, okay, well, why didn't you just sell me the game? If you just sold me the game, then that's fine. I'll give you the money if you give me something for it. It's like, no, no, no. What if you just give us money and we give you intangible rewards? And you're like, no,
Ooh,
I want,
intangible. That sounds
yeah,
mysterious.
Pride and accomplishment.
ooh,
Don't you like it?
yeah. It's like, oh, that sounds fun. I would much rather have a product
Yeah,
though. Could you sell
that's
me
actually
a
we're
completed product?
we're talking about AAA games, but we're missing probably the biggest aggressor in that regard. It's Electronic Arts, and I say that because I don't play Electronic Arts games. But like all their sports games are monetized up to wazoo.
Yeah.
Like this,
and
yeah,
you and you
and
have
they're
to buy them every year. You have to buy a new sports game just so someone can remind you that the previous sports game you spent like $150 on buying cool fucking trading cards in doesn't work anymore. You need to spend $150 in more trading cards in fucking NHL 2022 because it's a new year and all these people change their names. And fuck, we're not going to do it in 2021 because that would be stupid. Why would we update the names? You have to buy a whole new game, idiot. That's how it works. That's the law.
It's the same people, but some of them are older. I guess all of them are older.
Yeah, and some of them look different. This guy has a different haircut now. You know how hard it would be to program that in NHL 21? Oh, the whole
we didn't
ruin
have
the
the
whole game.
technology for a
Yeah,
different
we didn't have the
haircut.
technology. Nope. When we programmed Johnny to have that haircut, Johnny cannot get another one. That's it. We put it in the code. We made it so that if anybody changes Johnny's hair, it just breaks the whole game. So we had to make a whole new game with the same code in it. So that way we have to make a 2023 because Johnny's hair is stuck as it is again. We won't fix this problem, but we're gonna keep perpetuating it. Like I don't know. It's just it's and like at some point someone's going to come along and make something really great and it's not gonna fit into the mold that I guess everyone else is used to, which is like free to play. I'm gonna steal my mom's credit card. I'm not gonna ask for anything else for Christmas except for V-Bucks and like whatever. And someone's gonna come along and make a game that's like way better than those, but just cost money. Just like just you just have to pay them money, just straight up one time fee, and then you have access unlimited times to this crazy game that's really fun. And I don't know what we'll call it. We'll probably call it like video games, but I think that might be a tentative name. I think we'd
Hmm.
much rather, yeah, we'll have to, we'll workshop it. But there'll be this product that you pay once, you can play it as many times as you want, and you have full rights to it. It's your game, right? You can install it on whatever computer you want. You can install it on your laptop and your keyboard and your Texas Instrument calculator that can also play Doom, and we can all just have a good time no matter where we want to be. And all you had to do is pay like $15 to $40 for it. Crazy, crazy experience. That's it. You can't pay any more money. They literally won't let you pay any more money for some reason. That's just it. You just only get to pay once. I guess you could buy the game for your friends and family, but that's about it. That's all you can do. It's crazy.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Crazy ideas. Shark Tank kind of stuff, right? Um,
Hmm.
it's it's fun. It's just I don't of course I understand the appeal of free to play. I understand the appeal of if you give access to if things are free, more people will try it, right? This is how like dating apps work. Every dating app is free to start because then you can amass a lot of people. And then you start
That
charging them. You can say like, haha, now that you're here, you probably want to match with somebody, idiot. Well, that's gonna cost you money. And you're like, oh fuck, I damn it, I thought it was just gonna be free forever. Um, but I
I
I don't
think
know. At what point is it unsustainable? At what point is it like, okay, well now you have like Halo Infinite, Overwatch 2, Fortnite, Apex Legends, of Valorant. What are what are you gonna pay money? How much are you spending? Is this like gas? Are you doing like an Excel spreadsheet? I'm only allowed to pay like $10 to Overwatch, $5 to Halo, 25 to Apex Legends, and like $300 to Genshin Impact, and that's my budget for the month. I can't play any other games because I'm out of money now. Like, what? I don't play free to play games. I don't pay for free to play games, so I don't know what the 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 money's like. Do people like Do people? Is this a constant thing? Do you get a paycheck and you're like, oh, I got my new paycheck. Time to spend $50 of that paycheck on a free to play mechanic. Like, is that what you do?
it's not. I think you saying that the good thing about free to play games is that more people get to try them. That's only good if the game is good and the game is not trying to waste people's money and take their money away, or waste people's time, I should say, and take their money away.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
if it's Diablo Immortal, more people trying it is bad. Actually, that is a
Well, I
downside of
mean,
it being free to play.
so obviously
And
most free to
actually,
play
that's
games
the
want to be social, right? Like that's why like Halo
yeah,
or
yeah,
Valorant or
yeah.
Apex Legends works or
That's a
Fortnite works
benefit.
so
Yeah,
well. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. But I think like, despite Blizzard being absolutely to blame for the exploitation of their fan base with the loot boxes in Overwatch. Um, actually, I was gonna say Overwatch isn't free to play, so
No,
yeah,
it's not.
there's no despite. Is Blizzard is absolutely to blame for loot boxes in Overwatch, but
Yes. Yeah.
a
But loot
game like
boxes aren't necessary, right? Like
yeah, yeah,
people can feel like there's a sense of FOMO, but it's not real because there is an
it's
event
still
every
exploitative though.
year. Oh, sure. No, any loot box is exploitative. The baseline
Yeah,
here is that is it like so let's take the Halo shop for example, where in order to
yeah,
get
it's a good
cat ears,
example.
you have to fucking buy cat ears. You cannot get them any other way. There's no like, oh, there's an event and now you can just get them with in-game currency or whatever, right? Because you don't generate in-game currency. Overwatch at least solves this problem by giving you funny money all the time. Every time you open a loot box, which you get by getting a new level, by playing certain roles at certain times, by playing new game modes you haven't played before, whatever the shit. You can earn loot boxes pretty consistently for free. And you also get currency for leveling up. You also get currency for opening loot boxes with stuff you already have. Uh, so at some point, like for me, I've never bought a single loot box, but I'm at the point now where I have every item in Overwatch, and every time I open a loot box, it's just more in-game currency. And so when a new
Mhm.
skin comes
Really?
out, I can just buy. Yeah, I can just buy all of them without having to pay real money. I could just like show up to whatever new event and new skins and be like, yeah, I've got like 50,000 currency, bye 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 bye, and then just I'm done with it. That's
Do
it.
you hear
And
this,
so
Keith?
I
Do you hear this? You could
and
be the
oh
same. You could have all
yeah,
of the
you could be.
items.
Oh, Keith
Or I
also
could
can't play
not.
Overwatch 2. So Keith isn't allowed to play Overwatch 2 because if you play Overwatch 2, it automatically opens all of your loot boxes.
Oh,
Does it
really?
really?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. So
Oh no! This is a great tragedy.
so I saw this. I was reading
what
the
a
AMA
fucking
and
story arc.
right? I was reading the AMA and I cracked up because it's like someone asked, well, what happens to your loot boxes from Overwatch 1? Obviously, because it's a new currency of Overwatch 2. And so, like, what happens to all that? And they said,
Those
like, oh, yeah, all
fuckers.
of your loot boxes have to get reset. So we just open all of them, add all the products to your account, and then just move on. And now the new loot boxes will be obviously the new game loot boxes. And so I thought that's funny. It's like, oh, I guess Keith can't play because he'll technically just have unlocked. Oh, he'll have opened all of his loot boxes. He'll have interacted with the system because now when he goes to his character, it will
I
have
can
all these
still-
costumes and
I can
voice
still
lines and
just I can just
sprays.
leave it with default. Hell, I can even go
Yeah,
back and
of
be like,
course.
no, I'm gonna play the Overwatch 1 skins.
Well, you're gonna
Well,
have
yeah,
to
I
open
mean,
loot boxes to get them.
that's what I'll do. I'm not gonna buy Overwatch 2 skins. There's no fucking way.
Well,
So
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
Wait,
be
you
I
don't
mean
get the
because the
Overwatch 2
game.
skins for free?
I mean because of the fact that the game has all the characters are redesigned, but I think the original skins are also going to
Oh.
be in the game, so you can just go
Yeah,
back to being
yes.
Overwatch 1 appearances.
Yeah.
Unless you have to open the loot boxes for it.
No. So the way, at least, this is all Overwatch. As far as the AMA is concerned, what they have said is that you can still. So the system that exists for loot boxes now, so the way that loot boxes exist, blah blah blah, that system will still exist. You can still buy old skins with the currency or what, like the old currency, but you can't buy new skins or battle passes with the old currency. So like the old Overwatch monies will not work. The credits won't work for new stuff. You have to buy credits, right? So they're just doing the thing
Mhm.
where it's like here's the in-game currency and here's the pay currency. And you have to buy the pay currency to buy whatever obfuscated shit. Like so they're doing the Call of Duty thing. So there's gun charms, there's gun I think there's gun skins, and then there is, or no, I think it's just gun charms, regular skins, and then something else. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so there'll be a pay currency and an old currency, and so you can still get all of your old skins, all your Overwatch 1 skins, and look like Overwatch 1 character or whatever. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. It's gonna be fun to see how that works.
Fun is a word for it.
It is a word for it. It's just I don't know. I don't know what I understand. Again, I get that say you want to release Overwatch 2 in a market where Fortnite and Apex and Valorant and whatever the fuck exists and they're all free to play and no one has to pay money. So why the fuck would anyone want to play Overwatch 2? But
I still
at the same time, I think if I just had to pay $40 for Overwatch 2 to access the PvE or whatever, and if I had Overwatch 1, I just have access to the PvP mode for free, like they originally said they were gonna do, I would be totally on board with that. I'm fine with that idea. I'm fine with paying money for content, right? Like I don't like the idea that I have to pay a lot of money for DLC, but I would much rather, like, I'm begging you to just charge me $40 and then I'm immune from battle passes. Like, can I? Is there like a what is the fee that I can pay to be immune to battle pass stuff? Like, I just have access to everything, right? I just have access to everything like I do in Overwatch 1. I can just generate in-game currency, get some loot boxes from stuff, and just move on with my life. Like, that is a system I can interact with. I don't care about, people like Keith can just not interact with that system and he's fine. He's completely okay. He gets he gets the value of paying for it out of playing the game. He doesn't care about the whole loot box system. But inversely, it's there for him if he ever wanted to. It's not something he has to like start asking his bank if he can do. He doesn't have to start like looking at his finances and going like, I don't know, man. Can I afford to play Overwatch? Like he doesn't have to do that. But I don't know. It feels like what I like most about Overwatch is that I can just turn it on, press quick play, and quick play into a match. I don't have to open Overwatch and go like, fuck, I better check my clipboard. What do I gotta do today to get those battle pass points? Fuck, I gotta get 4 headshots with Mei on a Havana. Oh fuck. Well, I better hope the rotation brings me to Havana and that no one else takes Mei because we all need to get Mei fucking abilities
Sounds
for the battle
cursed.
pass thing. Like fuck
So
off,
glad I don't
dude.
care.
I don't want a like I don't want a job to play my game. I don't want to do that. You know what I want a job for? I don't. That's the spoiler. I don't want a job. So why would I want a job in a game? Like, why would I want to do work in a game when I don't want to do work in real life? Do you not see the problem here? Video games are entertainment. If I had to watch a reality TV show and every fucking 15 minutes of that reality TV show, in order to watch more of it, I had to guess what fucking character is going to say what to whoever what, I would be fucking done. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't interact with a medium where I had to also do other things to continue enjoying it, right?
You
I
just
don't want
gotta
to like
join me in the
I
world
don't know how
of
to
not
explain.
giving a fuck about
Yeah,
cosmetics.
it's just I don't know how to explain this properly because I am not a 4-hour video essayist, but I can tell you that you can write a 4-hour video essay on why adding fucking missions to battle passes or whatever, like Fortnite and Halo Infinite, and I think Apex also do. Like adding these little side missions of like things to do to unlock more stuff isn't fun, actually. Like that, it's just not fun. It is.
I mean, people
is
like
just
them.
a
It
really
gives them structure to their gameplay or whatever, and gives them little goals to feel like they did something. It's the exact
But
same
you
itch
don't
as
need
like.
that.
After you
It's
paid,
a fucking
though?
PvP game.
I know you don't need that
after
because
you
I
paid.
literally ignore all of it. But I'm saying that it's like,
Yeah.
like I've seen people, I've heard people defend this stuff to them all the time, and like they like the battle pass stuff and everything, and a lot of it comes down to that kind of thing of like, it gives them little goals to do and structures their gameplay or something.
But the game could
What
have
do you
that by
mean?
default without having to pay
Yeah.
for it. Like,
Also,
don't
Oh yeah,
forget,
there's
it's
no
after
reason that
buy-
you should have to pay for it, and also like
Yeah.
I'm literally just repeating other people's bullshit, so I'm
I
not
know,
gonna
I
like
know, I know.
argue on their
Yeah,
behalf.
I'm arguing for against the arguments rather than yeah, absolutely. But like, bear in mind, this is what Andrew is saying is something that happens after you pay. You pay to have this structure imposed on you or given to you, depending on your perspective.
Yeah, depending on which
There's no
game
need.
too. Like Halo Infinite is obviously like, you have to do missions for a battle pass. Do you, oh never mind, I lied. You do have to pay for the battle pass to do the thing. Yeah, sorry. Never mind.
Halo
Go ahead.
Infinite is just pressing escape a bunch of times after the game is done because there's a bunch of progress bars.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Make it
Yeah,
stop.
I always forget.
It's yeah.
I keep forgetting that that battle passes have a free and a paid version. And so when you do stuff in the game, it tricks you into thinking that you're making battle pass progress, but you're actually making like insulting battle pass progress because it's a battle pass that like mocks you the entire way. We're like, damn man, you got 4 levels. Well, if you weren't fucking poor, you could have had a gun. And you're like, okay, thanks, I guess. What a great system. I don't know. It's like imagine getting your paycheck after work and someone's like, damn, you only made $500. If only you worked harder, you could have had a car. It's like, all right, thanks, I guess. Sorry, I didn't. Sorry about that. I should have thought about that before I started working. Like,
could have bought a car.
it's dumb. It's dumb to be like reminded of the things you could have had if you just paid money to them. Again, that's what I'm saying. Is like the moment you finish the system, suddenly there's a lot of guns pointed at your head. And it's like, hey, you better pay money. And it's like, I don't want that gun. I actually don't fucking care about the gun. I don't care about the gun. Can we just ignore that? Can we pass that whole system? Can I just say like, check a box? No, thank you. Not interested in battle passes. Like I can do with an email.
Yeah,
Like, can I
exactly.
unsubscribe from battle passes? Like,
That's why the whole it's optional kind of argument only works so far as you can ignore all of that sort of advertising being shoved into your gameplay experience. And like,
which is why my argument is like mobile games, right? Mobile games do this, where you play a mobile game for 30 minutes and then it gives you like 50 years of ads. And but most mobile games, if they're good, will give you an option to just buy the game, right? Hey, pay us like $4 and you can just have the game ad free. Okay, cool. Thanks. I would love to do that. Can I do that for Battle Pass games? What is the cost that I can pay?
Not.
What is the cost within reason, right? That I can pay you to shut the fuck up about Battle Passes. I'm not even asking for the content in them. Just shut the fuck up about them. I don't want them here. I don't want them around me. I don't want to see them. I don't want to think about them. I just want to play the goddamn game. And that's it. You know how I do that?
It's easy. I do that.
I can. But again, I have to go out of my way to ignore this mechanic that I could otherwise just not even know exists if I just gave you money to leave me the hell alone. That's all I'm asking. Like, obviously, it's just an ignore feature.
There's a reoccurring thing where whenever I talk about free to play systems being exploitative, the first comment anybody has in response is to immediately say they're like, well, they have to have all these monetization strategies, otherwise they won't make any money off of their free game. And I'm like, okay, so let me pay to not deal with it. And they're like, no. It's like,
no, that argument just boils down,
because none of these companies will give me that option because they know that on average, giving everybody this other system and not letting them pay to just not have to deal with that stuff is more profitable than just letting the people buy the game.
Because the argument, that argument that you said, that people say, Keith, just boils down to, well, they have to have all these monetization tactics because it's more profitable this way. That's what it boils down to. And that's what you just said. But it's like, if you put it like that, it's a lot more gross than just being like, they have to make money out of it. Because it's not really about making money. It's about making more money. But I think like focusing on that sort of like shaming developers for being greedy, or it's actually not developers a lot of the time. It's just publishers. Shaming publishers for being greedy. I think that doesn't really touch the heart of the matter. It doesn't like, I don't think it's not necessarily a productive conversation to be had. The problem is,
yeah.
Not that
publishers. There's no reason to shame publishers. They're doing what is smart. They're making money. I'm shaming the gamers. Gamers are the problem.
No, it's definitely the publishers' problem because the gamers are victims. Basically, everybody that pays money to gacha games is a victim, and they can convince themselves, "Oh no, this is I really want this." They can convince, "Oh, I have a lot of money." No, they're victims. They're wasting their money, throwing the money away for something they could have and should have gotten just by buying the game in the first place and just doing that. And actually what they're getting is worse than what they would get if there weren't microtransactions, because I think that's the real problem, is that games are worse because of their microtransaction strategies. There's more time spent optimizing and doing ad work and doing like psychological sort of tricks in games. There's more time spent on that than there is then on the gameplay. So if developers just focused on making a game fun and not really caring about how they could monetize that fun, we would have better games. And the fact is, the games that are more fun are the games that don't have that sort of stuff. They don't rely on things like sunk cost fallacy or the sort of customization as a trap for enjoying a game. Because like, I know that intimately as somebody who plays role-playing games, customizing your character is fun by itself. Just the concept of it is fun, even if the character creation tool sucks.
It's definitely more
doesn't matter.
fun when you can do it than it is when the entire menu is full of locked things that you have to spend hundreds of hours to learn how to get.
Yeah, for sure. But they use that in conjunction. They allow you to customize your character, which is going to lock you into the game, and they allow you to pay for it, which is also going to lock you into the game because you spent money. If you spend like $150 in customization options for this whatever game you're playing, you're not going to stop playing it the next day. You're like you spend 30 or 40, even if it doesn't have to be 150. You spend $20 in a skin for Fortnite. You're not going to stop playing Fortnite in the next couple of weeks. It's because why would you, like, you spent money on those skin, you're gonna use it, and every single hour you're gonna spend playing that game after you spend those $20, the developer or the publishers know that you're a prime target for spending more because they know you're gonna play the game for one, and they also know that you're the kind of person that does buy the skins. So and they prey on you like that. And somehow convince you that it's good value for money because you're spending so much time in the game anyway. Because of course you are. You paid money. You're not going to stop playing it because you paid $20 for the skin. So they convince you that it's actually a good amount of money. Because I don't know, if you paid for a $60 video game that you play once and stop playing forever because single player one whatever for 10 hours, that's not as good value as paying 20 euros or $20 for a skin that you're going to play for hundreds of hours in Fortnite. Like, objectively speaking, it isn't, but it is infinitely less good value because you could just play the game without the skin, and that's like 0 instead of 20.
But I guess I don't know, the reason that I think the reason that I'm more confident in placing the blame on gamers is that this isn't a situation where, say, food in the US, it's hard to buy food in the US that isn't owned by like one of like several billion-dollar companies, right? No matter what you do, you can't like support the what's the word I'm looking for? You can't support local creators. You can't like support your farmers. You can't support your local businesses or whatever, right? Because it's not stored. Like, you won't find that in the locations in which you buy the product you want to support someone for. But video games are not like that. You can buy only indie created games. You can buy games that are specifically from not scummy studios, right? You can do that. And if you can't afford to, let me tell you about this magical thing called free games. Not free to play, free games. They're just free. They're just free games. Free to play is its own category now. They've taken it. They've stolen free from us. But free is a game like Newgrounds, Flash, K-Kong, whatever. There are so many free games.
Just the games you get for free on even not just the Epic Store, but GOG does that as well. That they give out.
Yeah, there's exactly. Yeah, Epic Games is a good example. They give free games all the time. GOG gives free games all the time. You can go on like itch.io and find a bunch of good free games on there.
But the thing
there
is,
are so many options besides fucking Apex or Fortnite. Like,
if you have friends that play it,
get different friends. Like, if all of your friends are jumping off bridges, you don't go like, fuck, dude, guess I gotta follow my friends because that's the only option I have. Get different friends. Watch them fall and mock them when they hit the ocean and they go, oh god, it hurts. And you're like, yeah, isn't it fucking bad? Like, you should have known that before you jump off the bridge, idiot. Like, just why would you follow people into a bad situation? And you know it's bad. Like, nobody plays a free-to-play game and goes like, this whole battle pass thing, pretty valuable deal here. I'm feeling like
Some
it's
people
great
do that, though.
I think it's cool that all I have to do is invest almost as much time as I do in a fucking job to unlock items in a game that I already paid for, by the way. I already paid for the battle pass, which means by the law of buying a thing, you should have the thing. Why are you paying for a battle pass but nothing else? You haven't bought the content in the battle pass because you have to still fucking unlock it. So all you did was buy a ticket into the line at Disneyland, but you don't even have access to the fucking ride yet. Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? You paid $15 to buy access to a line that you then have to wait in to then have the thing? That's not good. Why would you do that? Like,
there's a certain wisdom in what you're saying, although generally I do shy away from blaming people who spend money or who get suckered into.
Did you not play
But
Halo 3? Did you not play Halo
if you-
3 when for $15 you could get multiple
If you're-
maps for a game? Like, you
if
could
you're a
just
kid-
get content for paying money. You just pay them money and they'll just give you content for that. That's crazy. Like, you can do
If
that
you're a
now.
kid-
There are games.
If you're a kid
like,
listening to us right now, listen to Andrew's advice and get better friends if they're playing those games and forcing you. But if you're an adult, you're gonna have to ask for a raise because getting new friends as an adult is probably not in the cards.
if you're a child, let me put it to you in a much easier perspective. When your friends are telling you how fucking fun Fortnite is and how super amazing it is to do the battle pass grinds and stuff like that, think of it like when your teacher tells you how much fun homework is. Think of it when they tell you how good it's going to be when you finish grinding those fucking grades up. You know how fun it's going to be when you get A's in math? That's the same fucking thing. You are just literally wasting your time putting your head into a fucking ditch to do something when you could just pass by average. You don't need those. You don't need to put your entire life into a bucket and look at nothing else when you can just succeed by just doing the bare minimum. All right? And the bare minimum in a game is paying money and playing the game. If they can't do that, then don't do it. It's a scam. That's called what we in the business called this a scam. All right? It's not a pyramid scheme. I mean, it technically is because it's capitalist and all capitalism is a pyramid scheme. But the point being that this is clearly a scam. Battle passes are in themselves a scam. You are being tricked, lied to, and cheated out of your time and money to purchase a product that you don't even own. You don't own it. You didn't buy anything. You bought nothing. And that's not how money works. When you go to the store, imagine buying candy at the grocery store. And then the person at the register tells you have to do 50 dances for them in order to get the candy you just bought. I don't think you would enjoy that, right? You wouldn't really have fun watching a guy holding a candy bar and you have to do 50 dances for him in order for him to feel like you earned the candy bar that you just bought. I don't think that would be fun
accomplishment.
for you. But is it when you walk and you eat your fucking Snickers after your legs are sore from crying and dancing? Like, it's so,
you keep giving him
aggravating.
one. You keep saying one more thing that sets him off again. It's been like an hour.
It's just
Wait, what was the question?
It was about what's your favorite comic video game?
Oh right, I wanted to get to
this fucking
another tangent.
This like spree went on for like an hour. I've just been kind of hanging out. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna burn out.
I wanted to say we needed a Uzumaki video game.
Well, World of Horror is like Junji Ito inspired.
World of Wars?
World of Horror.
Oh, I didn't. Let me look it up. Because I have never heard of this. Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't.
It's in early access, so good one to go and add to my follow list.
Are there any? I'm trying to think. Are there any like manga-based games that aren't either like RPGs or visual novels? Or fighting games? Okay,
I was gonna say
like,
all of the games based on shonen, which is a pretty easy translation to action game.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. I was gonna say, I guess technically they're like, I was trying to think of like what manga games are there that you could even answer. I don't know. I guess I also liked I did like Pirate Warriors, but not. I think I like Pirate Warriors 3, not the first two. The first two were bad. But I did like Pirate Warriors 3, and that's technically based off comic. I don't know.
It's another Muso game.
How loose are we allowed to be with that generalization?
You like the part where Luffy do superpowers and punch up the bads, but like there's
No,
a
I prefer
billion
playing other
bads on the
characters.
screen.
Yeah, it's fun. Like One Piece is the prime target for this, right? You have characters with really dumb world-shattering abilities, and you can use them on big mobs of Marines, which is like a normal thing in the series. There's just always a bunch of Marines, and you can just punch all of them. So it's fun. It's fun being able to like have control over these big, like ungodly looking characters doing crazy moves. That fits into the Muso universe really well. But then you have, I don't know. It's I never played the Berserk Muso, so I actually don't know how good that is. I don't know if that's good or not. Um, Maybe that would be good. I don't know. Did Colonel? Did you ever say what comic book game you like?
Batman Arkham
Yeah.
Asylum.
Yeah,
Oh,
only
okay, okay,
Arkham
okay.
Asylum.
But then I mentioned open
Okay.
world
Oh,
games,
yeah, that is-
and then we went for an eternity.
That's
Mhm.
right. That's right. It is the Batman would count. Yeah, that's true. Uh, I now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it,
Batman
there's
is a
quite a lot
comic.
of there's quite a lot of comic book games.
Of course, it's a good synergy.
Huh.
Kids like
Yeah, I guess
comic
it's
books.
true.
Kids like games.
Yeah, it's like it is a lot more fun to be a superhero than watch a superhero be a superhero. Like it sounds fun being Batman, but it sounds really boring watching a man be Batman. Like it's I don't know.
Mm,
It is a perfect ability. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you're like I don't know. I guess cartoon Batman was kind of fun when I was eating cereal and stuff, but I like watching superhero movies is always this. It's like, okay, well that's cool and all, but I don't think I would have made that choice. I definitely would have did it a little bit differently personally.
your
Like,
backseat superheroing.
yeah, exactly. I'm watching these superheroes and be like, man, you guys are real dumb. You know, you could have just done this. You could have just could have like square spammed and you would have beat Thanos really easily. Like, there's no reason why you had to do all this like teamwork shit. You could have just done this one power move, which like messes with his frames but gives you invisible frames, and then you could have just wiped him out.
Why didn't you just shin kick him 75 times in a row until he fell over?
Obviously, like what the hell? Do you know how? Do you see Thanos' shins? Obviously, he didn't have them protected. He only had a glove on. So why did you keep going after his glove? He
Wait,
was
is he
wearing
naked?
no. He's just wearing
Oh.
pants and a shirt like a normal person. He's not wearing armor. The only armor is his stupid glove that everyone kept trying to fight. Like fight the parts that aren't armor. Just punch him in his fucking legs a bunch of times. Just kneecap him. It's fine. I'm telling you, it would have been easy.
I've never seen any comic book movies apart from Spider-Man 1 and 2 and 3.
That's impressive. I feel like that's a hard thing to do.
Actually, I'm full of it. I have watched
Okay.
Dark
I was
Knight.
gonna say that sounds really difficult. There's
No,
it's very hard for me to believe I could talk to somebody who's like I
Just
like,
not the
watched
new
only, like
one.
one comic book movie.
I haven't watched in a
Damn.
long time, is what I mean to say. I've watched I've watched stuff before 2009, basically. Some of the stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
My favorite is Spider-Man 2, the one with there's probably multiple Spider-Man 2s. The one with the what's his name? The good Spider-Man?
Tony,
Yes. Tobey Maguire.
Spider-Man.
That's all.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. You know,
It's
I
so
mean,
funny.
it's a fairly
Just
well
you
understood.
detail your thought process in a way that gets really funny by the time you have like you like land on a question after saying just like a string of things, and so it's always funny somehow by the end.
Yeah, it's impossible to follow.
There's multiple Spider-Man 2s, and I'm still reeling from that, like the 3 Spider-Man
Aren't
2s,
there?
and you're like, what's the good one?
Aren't there multiple Spider-Man 2s?
Yeah, even the
Yeah,
bad Spider-Man
yeah.
had a second Spider-Man.
Jeez,
Yeah.
they are.
It's that's
Mhm.
the state we're in. But
They need to make a
Goofiest shit.
Spider-Man with Keanu Reeves
what? As like Keanu Reeves as Spider-Man?
as Spider-Man. Yeah.
I don't know about that. That seems a little weird.
Keanu
You can have like a
Reeves is
45-year-old man playing Peter Parker.
Hey,
Maybe he's
45?
doing like
He
a
like
live.
Spider-Man.
He's not 45. Keanu Reeves is not 45.
Is he like
50
55?
something. He must be 50.
57. He's 57. Jesus
There you
Christ,
go.
he's 57?
Yeah, look at him. If you were
I
45,
think
well,
everyone should be taking like a page out of his book. What is he doing to look that like that? He does not look 57. Like you look
he
at
does with a beard. Not
it
without
helps
if
to
he takes
be
the
an
beard off.
actor.
Yeah.
does it?
Because-
Because I'm talking about other actors need to take a note out of his book. I'm saying like other
Yeah, but a
actors
lot
don't
of-
look like he
I
does
mean,
at
it's
57.
a combination of genes and a lot of money to spend dealing with problems and whatnot.
I'm just gonna say genes because I don't know. Like Brad Pitt doesn't look that good, and he's probably got way more money than Keanu Reeves does. So what's his excuse? What's going on there? Buy better jeans. Just go to fucking Levi's or something. Where do you buy jeans at? Just go
Yeah.
there and buy better ones. This is
I mean,
ridiculous.
I've been watching Russian Doll, and like Natasha Lyonne looks fantastic. I think she's
I don't know
like,
who that is.
At how old is she?
I do not know who she is.
She is 43 years
She's
old, so she's still
43.
10 years younger. Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie with her.
Watch Russian
Oh.
Doll. It's about
I think I've
generational
seen
trauma.
her.
Season
Oh, no.
2 has
That is
trans.
that's the worst
like, it
kind of
gets-
trauma.
Season 2 is like suspiciously
Oh.
trans without ever saying it.
Ah, they should say
Oh, I
it.
thought she was somebody else. I thought she was that Scientology person.
No, she's the redhead from Orange is the New Black. The best. one.
Gotcha. Okay. I've never watched that show, so that would explain that. That's why I don't know her. Okay. I don't know. It's either way. I don't think Keanu Reeves is going to be able to pull off a young Peter Parker. I just don't think. He has
No,
it.
an old Peter Parker.
Why would he
has
be an
the-
old Peter Parker? Why would I start the Spider-Man
he can
story?
be the
How
old
would I?
man,
Think
Peter
about it.
Parker, that dies at the beginning of Spider-Verse.
Think
don't-
about it.
I-
At the age of 50, Peter Parker is still renting a one-bedroom apartment in New York City.
God, No Way Home was so much worse than Spider-Verse.
But how? But wait.
How much
But
he
how
tried
did
to do the
Spider-Man
same
get his?
thing.
But how did Spider-Man get his powers?
It's the same. It's the same person for
It's
50
the-
years.
He's
lived
old.
with
Yeah, he
being able
gets
to
older
climb-
later, Andrew.
Yeah.
What? He gets
Yeah, that's
older
the-
later.
He's not
Yeah,
a
that's the
different
premise. Wait,
Spider-Man.
Look, Spider-Man movies don't all have to tell how he gets his powers. We can just
Yeah,
tell
they
the
do. They
story.
literally all do. They all tell you how he got
They
his
all tell
powers.
you.
So I have
I know,
to.
but it's bad.
no,
I-
actually, the
No,
new
I
movies
need
don't.
to know.
They don't? Oh, that's
What?
good.
Yeah, the Tom Holland movie doesn't show him getting his powers.
That's good.
He literally already
Wait, what
has
do you
his
mean?
powers when you meet him in Civil War, I think.
Oh no, that's part of the multiverse. Oh crap. That
Well,
gives
it's not a
me headache.
multiverse yet. It's just a
Or
crossover
metaverse
thing.
or whatever.
But I think
But I thought
Spider-Man.
the
I think
first-
Spider-Man was introduced in Civil War, and he didn't like get his powers. Iron Man just finds this local superhero that's hanging out in Manhattan or whatever his Spider-Man's territory is.
Wait, what? I thought the first Spider-Man movie showed how he got his powers.
I don't think it did.
I-
If it did, it might have been
I
like a
don't know.
flash moment or something, but not like the plot of the movie the way that it normally is. Because yeah, usually it's like here's the big build-up, like, oh man, Spider-Man's in some kind of like scientific lab, and a spider got out, and now it's time to kill Uncle Ben, and so on and so forth. And like none of that happened, as far as I can remember. Definitely wasn't the plot of the Spider-Man movie.
now it's time to kill
I
Uncle
don't remember
Ben.
what
Spider-Man
was it
Homecoming.
called? Homecoming. That was the name of it. Okay.
Yeah, they made them all of them were named Home, I think. Yeah, Far From Home and then No Way Home.
Good
No Way
to
Home
make
is a
people think
terrible
that they've
movie,
watched it.
honestly. I was like iffy on it while I was watching it, and then I just kept souring on it more and more whenever I thought about it. Like, wow, that movie was really awful in like every way. Like, it's just a really bad movie, and everyone fucking loved it, and they were mad it wasn't getting nominated for like Academy Awards and stuff. And I'm like, it's not a good script. Like, it's a bad story told. It's a mess. I'm so confused.
You know what? That's probably why I don't remember much about Homecoming, because they didn't tell me how Spider-Man got his powers. I think
The only
that's a
thing you
big-
remember
that's
is
a-
repetition. Martha and Thomas
Yeah,
Wayne
yeah,
have to get shot in the first Batman movie every time, or it's not even a real
Yeah, yeah,
Batman,
yeah.
Mr. Vampire Boy. You're a fake Batman
Oh,
because we didn't watch your parents die.
Oh, that's right. I
Spider-Man-
forgot about that movie. That's
Because
right.
his parents
He
didn't
have
die.
his parents. His parents didn't die in it. Shit. You're right. I totally forgot about the plot of that movie because his parents didn't die, and it just started with him being Batman already.
This is
But-
so dumb.
Spider-Man, you mean?
Wow.
Oh, Batman.
No,
yeah, yeah.
the new Batman movie. That
I'm
didn't
still
have-
reeling
yeah,
from
he
the
was just-
realization that Homecoming and Far From Home and No Way Home are 3 different movies.
they are.
My God, there's
What?
even more superhero movies than I thought there were, and I thought there were already too many.
Yeah, there's already 3 of the new one.
Yeah, they never stopped. They just
No,
kept
there's-
going forever.
There's 4 of the new one, 5 of the new one, because there's also the Into the Spider-Verse and Caught in a Ham, which are I assume the animation ones.
Those are different. Yeah, those are
According
different
to
Spider-Mans.
There's
That must be like an animated short spin-off of Into the Spider-Verse, I guess.
yeah, it's a short film.
so
yeah,
You
sorry.
should
The
only
only-
watch
the
Into
only
the
Spider-Man-
Spider-Verse.
I know the Into the Spider-Verse, but it has verse in it, so I'm like, no, just no.
No, just the word verse. Hate the word verse. Fuck that word.
Yeah, because it's like, do you mean there's gonna be more? No.
Yes.
Of course there's gonna be
Yeah.
more, but like, no, give me a single story that I can enjoy.
I think my biggest
refuse.
holdup of Spider-Verse is having so many other Spider-Mans, because again, I don't know where they came from, so I don't want them here. I don't know like how. Yeah, where?
Oh wait, there's more Spider. I thought it was
I-
more movies, not more Spider-Mans. There's
No,
that's
no,
right, that
it's
makes
so-
sense.
There was 3
Yeah,
of the
so
first
Into the
Spider-Man,
Spider-
then 2 of the second Spider-Man, and then 3 of the third Spider-Man, but the third movie with the third Spider-Man has the 2 first Spider-Man in it.
Right.
Because he makes he tries to break reality to get his wish on something, and then it through ways that don't make sense, the other Spider-Men get up in there. By the end of the movie, every rule they explain about the supposed world stuff that's happening is contradicted by the movie. Like actively. Like in the post-credit scene, fucking takes the entire plot and snaps it over its knee, just actively contradicting everything that you heard up until then.
Right.
It's frustrating.
but
It's a very
it
nonsensical
was
movie.
sad, and that is what matters most. That you feel sad.
Maybe you're not supposed to pay attention to the plot.
Well, that
don't
would
know.
be really confusing then, because I don't think that Spider-Man No Way Home was a very good action movie. It was a lot more talking than a lot of fighting. And I think that would be a very bad thing to ignore, like 80% of your movie.
Hmm.
I think you should probably interact with more of it than that. I don't know. I mean, comic book movies aren't really for they're not they're not really there to tell a gripping narrative that's gonna like change your views on things. It's just supposed to make you be like, yeah, punch him harder, he deserves it. Like
Get him.
yeah, it's basically just like, I hate that guy, yeah, Spider-Man, beat his ass. And then you're
Yeah.
like, you feel justified. You're like, damn, look at that guy saving all of New York and also beat the shit out of somebody. That's what I would do if I had superpowers. Help people.
You would save New York? Oh, right.
No, not New York. Oh God, I would let New York go away. I just would save people. Like,
God. Disgusting.
yeah, no, I would save people by letting New York go away. That would be how I save people. The people in New York I would save, but I wouldn't save the city. Like the city would go away. It would just be gone.
No more New York.
That's how you that's how you have to save New Yorkers, is you have to get rid of the thing that's hurting them, which is New York. So once that's gone, then they're saved. So that's it. It's just I'm curious because I remember like 5, 10, 15. How old are we? I remember years ago, back in the day, when I was much younger than I am today. I remember when the comic book movies started coming out a little too much, and people were like, "Uh-oh, this isn't gonna last very long. And then it's been like, it has to be a decade now. And people are
Yes.
like, man, I can't wait for that brand new the superhero movie. And I'm kind of just sitting here scared. Like, oh my God, is this
Like they'll
still
never
working?
escape.
How is this
It was
working?
all a lie. The idea
Yeah.
that anyone was worried.
Yeah. Like I feel like there was false fear. I was tricked into believing that I was lied to about there being an actual time when we will return to a world without comic book movies. I was lied to about the promise of a better theater experience. Um,
Do you feel
and it's just
betrayed?
never happening now. It's no, not really, because I went and watched. I've been watching a lot of other movies that aren't comic book movies, and I realized that like
Gasp. You can
there's
do
not
that
really anything.
in modern America?
I wouldn't recommend it. I really don't. Please don't watch anything in theaters. Just don't interact at all with it. It's just a
Have you seen
I don't
Everything
know,
Everywhere
man.
All at
fair.
Once?
No, no, I haven't.
Good.
Is that in theaters?
Literally every time I've gone in the movie theater, I've sat up, walked out, and gone, well, at least my partner had a good time because I wish I never came here. Like it's just like why did I even watch this thing? It was either not it didn't give the intended response it wanted. I had to sit there hurting myself, not laughing out loud, or
Hurting
um
yourself.
yeah, like I have to hold back laughing so much in a movie theater because it's rude. I don't want to like laugh while people are
Fair, yeah,
watching a
yeah.
movie in a quiet room. But
So
like,
consider
god
it.
damn, every time you watch a horror movie, it's fucking comical. It's like just watching a horror movie today is just like, what? How is this not hilarious? Every single time. Like, I don't know. I watched some horror movie and a woman pulled like a fucking pagan altar out of a box and then she just puts it down and keeps pulling stuff out of the box. Like, are you just gonna ignore that? Who just has pagan idols in their fucking box? Like, we're just not gonna touch it. And then she just comes back later and goes like, "What is this idol doing here? You took it out and put it on the floor. It's your idol. You didn't notice that? Did you just blindly pick up a statue of a naked guy doing the Bahamut like statue and like has a giant dick and you're just like, that's normal, and just put it on the left and didn't give it a second thought until like ghosts appeared and then you're like, maybe this naked Bahamut statue might be the problem. I don't know
Oh, I
though.
see.
I don't even know like where did it come from? Like I don't maybe put it in the fucking dumpster and then send it to the dump
Bahamut.
and then the dump can be haunted by ghosts. Just get rid of the thing that you don't know what it is. It's not yours. Get rid of it.
I
But
love that
no,
I don't even know
instead,
what movie you're talking about.
Well, we
that's
know
the
the
best
plot
part.
now.
It doesn't even matter. No, that's not even the plot. You know what the plot is? The plot is you should have died when you were supposed to die. And if you have
Oh,
guilt about
no.
not dying when you should have died, then don't because it's stupid. And like, thanks, movie. I really needed that reassurance here. I needed
That
to
is the
know that
worst
if I
part.
didn't die in a tragic accident, but other people did, that I shouldn't kill myself for being alive. Thanks, I guess. Yeah, I could have picked like a much better story to tell me this in. I don't know, maybe like with people overcoming trauma and not like a lady thinking there's like ghosts in her house. I don't know, man.
No,
There
wait.
has to be a
There's
better
not
way to do
thinking.
this.
It's it's a horror movie, so there are ghosts in our house.
So no, the ghosts are fake, but the demon
Oh,
that's
dang it.
possessing her to make her kill herself is real because the demon had a promise that she would die if she survived. And so because she survived, the demon gets to haunt her and make her kill herself or make her want to kill herself, which is like really long conning it. Like you could have just had her die and then gotten the like I don't know, man. It was really convoluted. I think this devil really needed to like workshop this strategy before he pitched it to God. Who the fuck did he pitch it to get her to live? Like this is such a weird. I don't know. It was a weird movie. It was funny and stupid, and I had a painful time not laughing out loud at it. Um, and yeah, and so that's most movies are like that to me. Most movies are just me baffled that people just continue paying money for this experience and then leaving and going, man, I'm probably going to do this again and again and again. Like,
Horror movies are
Why?
tricky.
It's you,
Keith,
your people.
You mentioned
Yeah.
intergenerational trauma before. What was the movie you were talking about?
It's Russian Doll is a TV show that's 2 seasons long.
Oh, right.
And it's one of my favorite.
Because I watched the last horror movie that I watched was I forget the name. It's one where it's like a cult. I think I watched it on Keith's suggestion. I think maybe somebody else, and I forget the name. And it kind of sounded similar to the movie that you're talking about, Andrew. But I don't know names or anything because I don't pay attention to anything. So, great content for the podcast.
really sending it home.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Yay! I forget. I'll figure it out. I know, but we can move to the next question if you want.
I mean, we're like 2 hours in. That
Oh, already?
I don't think we have time for the next.
We
Yeah,
milked this question. We did a good job.
I mean, it wasn't really the question. It was just
No. Yeah.
a series of
That's
rants
fair.
happened, and I kind of just like watched as it continued. Look at him. I'm just like, look at him go.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast made itself from my perspective.
Free
And
content.
at the end of the day, isn't that how it should always be?
Yeah, I like not working.
Self-made podcasts.
All right.
Indeed.
Send your dialogue choices. Yeah, send your questions to dialoguechoicespodcast@gmail.com, and we might ask them and then talk about other things for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We answered them. We answered.
You
the
can be the
question.
one. Yeah. No, I gave a detailed answer.
Mm-hmm. You did a better job than we did.
And and then 2 hours happened. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.